Right. Let's talk about hiring. Let's keep pushing. Minimal editing for my videos. I might edit it a little bit, but for the most part, we're just gonna keep pushing. We're gonna go raw dogging this thing. All right, so let's talk about hiring, and I believe hiring is extremely important. And when people come to Africa, especially if they are running small businesses, they don't really know how to hire properly like that. I guess the best way to tell you is to tell you what to avoid, and I have a whole list here that I've written down. These are 5 personality types that you need to look out for, avoid, by any means necessary when you're hiring for your business. But first, before I go through the list of 5 personalities to avoid, let me just say the thing that I've noticed with small business owners here is they tend to hire family and friends. That's very dangerous. When you're hiring family and friends, I already did a video about why you should keep family and business completely separated. Rule number 7 by Notorious B.I.G. Yep. He said that for a reason in 1997. 30 years later, the game is still relevant. To this day, it's still relevant. Do your very best to avoid hiring family and friends. Because if things go south and your business does not move as quickly as you anticipated it, and you might have to fire somebody, there's going to be a lot of bitterness and resentment there. That's what people are going to, badmouth you. Anyway, let me jump into the list here. One more thing. These large organizations, the big corporations that are coming into Africa, they don't have that problem. Or let's say a hotel chain, they don't really have that problem of hiring because they have a lot of money that you don't have if you're starting a small business. So what they do is they tend to just outsource to a bunch of staffing companies. Because Africa is pretty advanced too. Just because we're in Africa does not mean there's no level of professionalism, because there is. Every single country that I've been to, they have staffing agencies, they have recruiting agencies where you can go to them and tell them what kind of people you're looking for, and then they will match positions that you're hiring for with with the candidates. So these things are here too. So that is an option, but it's not always reliable. The reason why, just depending on or relying on a recruiting agency, a staffing agency, is not necessarily always reliable, is because people tend to wear masks. You might get a perfect candidate who looks perfect on a piece of paper, but these 5 things that are written down, the red flags, they still have. They still have some of these 5 red flags that I'm about to read out to you. Let me start with red flag number 1. Avoid hiring people that drink too much. Personally, I prefer to hire people that don't drink at all. And those people are quite rare. And when I do find those people that don't drink, wow. If you like to drink and if you like to be around the party scene where there's a lot of drinking, then chances are you'll probably attract those kind of personalities that like to drink. But from what I've noticed from my experience, if you want to avoid attracting those types of personalities, of people that like to drink too much, and I'll explain to you why in a second. If you want to be in an environment that you avoid attracting those types of personalities, just go to church. Most of the people that go to church, not everybody, because there's still some demonic people out there that go to church. But for the most part, if you're a frequenter at your church, if you go to your church pastor and say, hey, listen, I'm looking for some good people here that are looking for work, and I'm willing to train them. The pastor will hook you up because the pastor knows who the demons are, who the good people are. It's a hack. Okay? Same thing if you're Muslim. Go to the mosque, ask the imam, whoever it is, that you're looking to hire. Same thing with the Indian communities, whatever religion, the Hindus. Yeah, there you go. Same thing. Avoid people that drink. Because people that drink come with a lot of poor judgment. The characteristics are, I know this because I used to drink. I don't drink anymore. It's very difficult for somebody who's drunk, who's always drinking, to make good informed decisions when they're under the influence. Even if they're sober, there's something about alcohol that changes your brain chemistry. That you're not operating, with the most clarity. Your mindset is foggy. Your mind is always foggy. I remember when I used to drink, I always used to be very foggy. My brain was always foggy. I still made some good decisions. That's why I'm still, alive to this day. That's why I'm here, giving you all this game for free. You can take it or not. It's not my problem if you don't take it. I'm giving you all this game because I survived a lot. What I'm saying is this. If you surround yourself with people that like to drink too much, they're going to, spend their money, too much of their money on alcohol. They start making bad decisions. They're always smelling of alcohol or always drunk. And they might not show up to work. So it makes your operations a headache. Personally, here in Africa, I don't have any people on staff that drink too much. Maybe here and there I might have one or two, but for the most part, I know people pretty well now. The people that work for me, I know them pretty well. They don't drink. They know that I don't drink. I never tell them, hey, don't drink. I never tell them that. If they go out their way and they say, hey, I'm out here drinking now, I'm not going to stop them. I'm just going to watch and judge them. I judge them. Yeah. So I avoid people that drink by any means necessary. They come with too many headaches and too many problems. There have been too many people here in the continent of Africa that have found success even though they like to drink alcohol. But alcohol has completely destroyed their lives. I can tell you countless stories of people that were wealthy that died in car accidents, drunk driving. It's a big problem here in Africa. The roads are not perfect here. So people get reckless, especially guys that get new money, catch a lick. Catching a lick in the slang, right? It's a slang for you've caught a big break in life financially. And you're losing it. You get too hype. You get too hype. And when you get too hype, you get overexcited. And when you get overexcited, you don't know how to control yourself. So you feel like you need to be seen. And you feel like you gotta do something. You gotta do something to overcompensate for the broke years. I get it. When you've been broke most of your life and you catch that big break, that lick. Ooh. You want to tell everybody in the city. You want every hater, every girl that has ever you know, refused you, and they're multiple. There are multiple girls that have turned you down when you're a brokey. Ready. Now you want to stunt on their ass. You want to flex on them like this. Yeah? So what do? Alright. You set a plan for yourself. Still on the alcoholics part. You set a plan for yourself. You got that nice whip now. Maybe you're pushing a foreign. Hmm? There's guys here in Africa, they like three types of cars. They like Range Rovers, Mercedes Benzes, and Pajeros, these Land Cruisers. Those are the three types of cars that they like. And they'll just flex with them. So let's say he's got the latest Land Cruiser. Eh? No, maybe he's got the latest Range Rover. There you go. Let's start with the Range Rover. Let's say he's just caught a lick, the big break of his life. And he's got a Range Rover. Ooh, you know what he's going to do? He's going to pull up to the club now. Mm-hmm. You pull up to the club with that joint. Make sure it's seen. And all the fake people, man, they start crowding. Hey, man, hey. It's a nice car, bro. It's a nice car, yeah? Nice feeling himself. He goes to the club. He orders a bottle. You know what? I got my big break. Let's get a bucket of beer. That's the thing over here in Africa. You get these buckets. You put your Castle Lights in there. You put your Serengetis. You put your Zambezi. You put your... What's the alcohol that you guys like over there in Kenya? Tusker. You put your Tusker in there. And it's full of ice. You get like 50 bottles. And you and your boys just go to town. And all the girlies come. You're drinking. Then, at the end of the night, you gotta go home, right? Gotta go home. But you need to be seen. You need to make sure people see you in that Range Rover that you worked so hard for. You're brokey for so long. You need to be seen in it. So what do? You take the wheel. You're like, nah, I'm the man. I'm good. I've only had 10 beers, bro. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I've only had 10. And then get in there, and all the girlies are in the back. Pull off. The rest is history. The very next day, look at the blog sites. R.I.P. And your newsfeed. You're like, damn, what? Who is it this time? Who is this time? Who is it? It's that guy, man. It's that guy. You're like, damn, he just got that Range Rover just last week, bro. And he already crashed it, and he's gone. Damn, dog. Damn. This is why I avoid hiring alcoholics and people that consume alcohol. Even though you don't mean to end up in a grim situation like that, it's something that alcohol does. It confuses you to think that you're all good and, you ruin your life. And that energy is contagious. So if you bring people around you, it'll be very contagious. Number 2, personality to avoid. Loudmouths and chronic gossipers. I made a big mistake. I didn't think this was... Well, not I don't think, but I didn't know how to screen for this one when I was hiring. I hired some lady and, to do something. And she was a chronic gossiper, and a loudmouth. Listen, I didn't know. Nobody knew because, like I said, when we hired her, it was actually my wife who we did all the interviewing and stuff. She put up a really good mask, very good mask. And then even when I met her, she was like, "Oh, my name is so and so. I'm really nice. I like, take care of kids because I got two daughters. So one of my biggest priorities is that you got to be able to take care of two young girls because girls are a lot of work, especially my youngest daughter. It's a lot of work." So she put up a good front. So we thought, you know what? Plus, she had been referred to us by somebody that we kind of met, and we didn't know that this person that we met also was a chronic gossiper and what? And a loudmouth, yappers. And those people are very dangerous, but very, very dangerous. So we didn't know. It didn't take maybe 2 months for the red flags to start showing up. Doing weird things, man, like talking loud on the phone. While she's on the shift. And this is somebody that works domestically in my house. I can't have that. First of all, I can barely speak the language. Swahili. I understand it, maybe like 80%, but to speak, not so much. So I can hear certain things that she's saying. She's describing how she's doing her work. I'm like, I can't have this. I can't have it. Not because I don't want her to be talking on the phone, but when you have a loudmouth and a chronic gossiper like that, she's going to start running her mouth to other people outside the home and tell people what you got. Oh, I'm busy doing my boss's laundry, and oh, look, he's got 100 pairs of shoes. You don't need that. Shh. Don't tell people how many pairs of shoes I got. Don't tell people how many freaking rings I got. I don't want people to know this. This is how people get robbed. Because not everybody wants to see you doing good out here. People want to see you doing okay, but nobody wants to see you doing good out here. There's poverty here, and poverty makes people do weird things. So when you're running your mouth on the phone, that means you're running your mouth even after the shift. You're out there running your mouth too. And that's what she was doing. And it's not like anything negative happens in this home because, listen, I like my peace here. My family loves their peace. So it's not like we're doing anything that's weird in this home. But we don't want somebody coming in to our space. It's one thing if you're working. Let's say if I had a factory here in Dar es Salaam. Let's say I don't have a factory. Let's say I did have a factory and she worked outside of my home. I don't mind. I don't mind her gossiping. I don't mind her talking loud on the phone. In fact, I'll buy her an earpiece. Oh, I'll be like, oh, you're the one that likes to yap on the phone, huh? No worries. Are you doing your job? No problem. I'm gonna buy you an earpiece, and then I'll give you unlimited bundle. You can yap as long as you want, as long as you work it. If it's an incentive for you to keep working, then I'm gonna hook you up. No worries. I'm a fair guy. I'm fair. Yeah, that's what I would do. So this lady, my wife had to fire her. Because I couldn't fire her because I don't speak the language. I don't know how to articulate, in Swahili that, listen, you're fucking up, you're messing up, and you gotta go. You're a liability. So my wife had to do the job. And shit, I'm grateful. Chronic gossipers and loudmouths are very, very dangerous. What if somebody important that didn't want to be known that, how they move, came to my home and she's basically announcing to everybody, oh, do you know so-and-so is meeting up with this person? I'm like, because people are very creative. People got nothing but time here in Africa to gossip and yap, and they're very creative on the information that they share out there. And they start putting out information that doesn't even make any sense. This is how, if you go to some of these blog sites, you start to see a lot of stories about these famous people, like the Diamonds and all these people. This is why you start to see weird stories that are coming up that are not even true. A lot of celebrities here in Africa are victims to stories that are false. Even if you're not a celebrity, you want to protect yourself. You want to protect your energy. You want to protect your space by not allowing those types of people, and especially the people that you're hiring for. So just understand the context of how you hire that person who's a loudmouth and a gossip. A gossip, if you're running a boutique, if you're running a store, and that person likes to gossip and loudmouth, that's a plus. I like that. I'm hiring a gossiper all day long if I'm running a restaurant, because I know that gossiper is going to be yapping about how good the food is. Because that food would be dope in my restaurant. Number 3, personality to avoid. Womanizers, and these are usually men, and 3 or 4s, these are women. 3 or 4 is pretty much promiscuous women. You want to avoid those. And you want to avoid men that like too many women, People that don't know how to control their lust can be quite dangerous for business and, for your personal life. When you are getting to a certain level of, certain level in life, certain level of success in life, you want to protect yourself by any means necessary. And part of that protecting yourself by any means necessary, it means that you have to start avoiding people that can compromise your position. When you are making money here in Africa, you most likely going to make your money from other successful, wealthy people. Those people could be politicians, lawyers, doctors, people that are respectable in society. And if those people that are respectable in society are doing business with you and if they're associated with you, they need to know that you are also dealing with people that are respectable in society. If they know that that person that you're hired to manage their business likes to sleep with a lot of girls in the neighborhood, they're going to be like, Dad, I can't bring my family over there, dog. I'm speaking from experience here. I'm a father of 2 girls, 2 daughters. And if I know your personality is that way as a man, I'm avoiding you. I am avoiding you. You're a red flag. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need those kind of problems. So I'm just going to avoid you. And this is what a lot of wealthy people do as well. They will avoid you. Other wealthy people that are potential customers for your business will also avoid you. Because they'll see, this one's freaking shady. I'll be like, man, I got my daughter and she's just graduated high school, you know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of guys are gonna be chasing her and stuff. I gotta keep this guy away from my kid, from my family. This guy's a big problem. Because young ladies can easily be influenced. I mean, not all. It depends on how you raise them, of course. So wealthy, successful people that could potentially be your customers and whatnot, you don't want to chase them away. You don't want to put them off from doing business with you because your staff is full of promiscuous people. On the flip side, with the ladies too, 3 or 4s, you don't want 3 or 4s working for you, dog. You don't. Personally, what I like to do, I like to hire people that are already married. If you're married and if you're in some kind of relationship that's kind of stable, I like that. I'm hiring you over somebody who's not in a stable relationship, most likely. I mean, I'm still going to hire you if you're single, if you're not married or in a relationship, I'm still going to hire you. But I prefer that person who's in a relationship. The staff that is closest to me domestically, they're married and they live together. And I make sure that husband, wife, and they got a kid, I make sure they live together as a family. Okay? And then they work for us in my domestic space. That's the setup that I prefer. Again, because I have a family, I have a very sensitive, type of situation. So I want to protect my family. And this is what a lot of other people that are of a certain level of wealth, that's what they do as well. They put these measures to protect themselves. You don't ever want to hire, one of the biggest challenges one of the biggest or craziest stories that I hear here in Africa. It's not just a Tanzanian problem, by the way. It's an Africa problem. Is a lot of domestic workers, especially the young ladies that go to work for other families or other people, rich people and stuff, they end up getting pregnant. It's pretty sad. Some, it's not their fault. These ladies who are working, it's not their fault because guys here too, I got that problem. They don't know how to control their lust, some guys. But they're also promiscuous women that will go out of their way to get pregnant by the boss. So these things happen. And that's not good either. That's not good for your reputation. Whether it's somebody who's working for you domestically or in an office environment, you don't need that. Because this is where problems start. Distractions. So when a chaotic situation happens, you bring chaos into your work environment, you bring chaos into your home. You'll be too busy focusing on that chaos rather than, focusing on the money, this money. Because once you focus on this money, everything else comes, everything else lines up, everything else comes through. So don't be focusing on this chaos over here when you can be focusing on the money. And avoiding womanizers and people that don't know how to control their lust. That's where that comes in. Don't hire those people. Like I said, preferably people that are married or good relationships. This is the fourth point now. Leading into the fourth point is avoid your very best, or not avoid your very best. It's probably not a good way, but if you have a choice between somebody who's not in a relationship and somebody who's in a relationship, pick the person that's in a relationship. Preferably somebody who's in a stable relationship or stable marriage. If somebody is not in a stable relationship or marriage, it's really hard to figure that out during the hiring process. It's something that you're just gonna have to find out the hard way eventually. Until you figure out the type of questions to ask so that you know. And for the most part, people cannot hide their red flags for too long. You'll be able to know within, let's say, 3 months of that person working for you. You'll be able to know that, this person, There's a problem here. Big problem here. If you're dealing with people, and again, it depends on what level, right? Most of this depends on what level, but at the same time, I've noticed if you are running a small business, it really doesn't matter if somebody is at a bottom level or a manager level. Somebody at the bottom level over there, what you might consider bottom level, to me, they're equally as important as somebody at the manager level. They're equally as important. I see them the same. Because there's something that that person who's at the bottom of the hierarchy knows that you can benefit from, that the manager, the people at the top don't know. For example, how to get product for a better price. This is something I discovered. When we were dealing with the lady that we fired, the loudmouth and the gossiper, my wife would send her to the market to buy groceries. And here in Tanzania, we have these weekly markets where you can buy fresh organic food, and it's amazing. The food here is incredible. It's incredible. And I've actually been to one of these markets because I was so fascinated. Like, what is it like to go to an African market here in Tanzania? So I go because I'm fascinated by the sights and sounds. It's magical to me. So we used to send her over there. So to jump to the point, we would give her a certain amount of money. And we'd tell her, okay, these are the things that we need you to buy on this list, so go get them. So she'll go, and then when she came back, sure enough, she would deliver, and then she'll give us the change. Well and good, right? So I think, oh, this is a great employee and everything. It wasn't until she was out, I think she was out sick or whatever, then we sent the other person that works for us, who is not at the same level as her, but, beneath her, let's put it that way, in terms of pay rank and all this stuff. So we sent them, because the lady was out. We sent them to the market. And it turns out they came back with more money. Because they were able to negotiate down on price, and they were able to find better deals than that lady. Which led us to believe that that lady was probably scamming. She was probably pocketing some of that money. It might be something as small as $5, $1, here and there. It doesn't matter. It's our money. And it's part of the personality that you're dealing with here. And that lady was not in a stable relationship. We later on found out that she's 3 or 4. I didn't know. Oh my God, people here talk too much, man. Yeah. Later on found out that she was a 3 or 4. So good riddance. Got rid of her. Point number 5. Stay away from the miserable and the unhappy. For me, this one is really easy for me to figure it out. Some of you, it might not be so easy. When I'm hiring, I like to crack, silly jokes and, something that is not too risque. You know what I'm saying? Like something polite. If that person is like a dim light, have you ever met those people that are just like very dim? It's as if they're walking around with a dark cloud. I do understand that we're all going through something. I'm going through it. You're going through it. We're all going through something. Okay? Let's try and make the best of this moment that we have on this planet, because we don't live forever. Life is hard, Life is very difficult. So let's do our best to be a little bit cheerful, is all I'm asking. So if you're always miserable and always unhappy, and those people are very easy to identify. If they don't, I know how to identify them during the interview process, and I also know how to identify them after the interview process when they start working. These types of characters, they always have a story. Every week, it's something negative. It's some bad news they got. They're quick to tell you their problems every single week. Meanwhile, I've never gone to anybody about my problems, and I got a million problems. I got so many problems. But I've never gone to any of these people and said, "Hey, man, I don't know about this week, man. I'm struggling through this, this week. I don't know. I got this problem this week that I'm trying to figure out, and I can't figure it out." I've never gone to them with that. Or I just had a fight with somebody, or somebody yelled at me. I don't go to them with these problems. I don't. I just suck it up and deal with it. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't know how to do that. They don't know how to do that. So they walk around with a very dark cloud. They're very miserable all the time, and they're very unhappy. And that energy is very toxic. I am telling you, when we got rid of that lady, it's nothing but peace in this home. Nothing but peace. Everybody smiles every day. I wake up, I walk into the kitchen, everybody's all smiling. But when that miserable 3 or 4 was working for us, everybody here was complaining and very moody. It's contagious, that energy. Very contagious. It takes only one person to bring the mood of a lot of people, or everybody's mood. Have you ever seen kids that are at a party with no music, with no cake, and they're just there? Yeah, they might be having a good time, an alright time, or just sitting around. But it's not until a clown holding a cake comes in. All the kids, one person can change the mood of the entire room. A clown can do that for kids. Avoid people with dark clouds. Avoid the miserable and the unhappy. I hope you guys got some value from this video. I think I'm going to drop another video on where to hire. Some of the places you need to be considering for your hiring process. This is outside of those staffing agencies. If you're to start a business that is quite unique, and it doesn't require too many people, you don't need a staffing agency. Just hire yourself. Just know what to look out for and where to hire. I think I'm going to do a video, a separate one. And yeah, I hope you got some value. Like I said, if you're ready to work with the best, schedule time. This means that I'm going to give you a whole playbook on how to hire. I can coach you on that whole process. And I can also coach you on how to start your business here in Africa. I'm a specialist mostly in East Africa region, Central Africa, not the Congo, because I don't speak the language, but I know the regions, Uganda's, Rwanda's, and all this stuff, Kenya's. That's East. Southern Africa, I'm an expert there. So if you ever want to consider starting a business in those regions, let's talk. I'll put a link in the description of this video. This will be a paid consultation. If you want free game, just watch the videos. But if you want to talk to me, you got to pay. But you got to schedule time first. Then I'll tell you how we're going to move. Okay? Schedule time. Talk to you soon. Bless.